So I'm looking forward to Assassin's Creed Mirage later this year, and I know a lot of you are too. The phrase back to its roots has been thrown around quite a lot, and it excites many people, including myself. So while we're all caught up in the excitement of social stealth, faster parkour and other quote unquote original Assassin's Creed features making a comeback, I've realised something about the Assassin's Creed games that comes after Mirage. In case you're not aware, the next mainline game after Mirage is Assassin's Creed Codename Red, and there's a ton of people who are actually tired of this RPG aspect in previous games like Origins, Odyssey and Valhalla. Personally, I think I'm in the minority as I don't really mind the RPG elements, but for those who do mind, Codename Red will continue in the footsteps of those RPG games. Considering that Assassin's Creed Mirage is set to evoke the feeling of, older Assassin's Creed games, this might create a bit of false hope for the series. So it's perfectly fine to be excited about Mirage, but it's also understandable to feel a bit skeptical about the future, especially if you're a diehard OG fan. So without further ado, let me just dive right into why that is. So if you remember all the way back in 2007, Assassin's Creed 1 was a game that a lot of us enjoyed. Altair's incredible story, the stealth and just the overall feeling of it being a new franchise that was called Assassin's Creed made me feel like I was an actual assassin myself. At that point, I could not be any more excited for what Ubisoft were doing with this new thing called Assassin's Creed. And then came the next 3 games after that, which featured Ezio, who instantly became my favourite assassin. But if I'm being honest, after the Ezio games, the series started to go a bit up and down, with it consistently releasing some pretty underwhelming games. Now don't get me wrong, everybody has their opinions, but for me, games like Assassin's Creed 3, Rogue and Valhalla were pretty meh. But there were some good games after Revelations like Black Flag and Origins, and when it came to Origins, Ubisoft made a big change to the usual linear-esque style and brought in this huge RPG world, which I absolutely loved. But when they did this, it showed that there are so many people who actually prefer RPGs, and there's also others who miss the original elements that made the series so special in the first place. Ubisoft then went ahead with Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Valhalla, following a similar direction, but unfortunately they completely shit the bed when it came to learning from the success of Origins, especially in Valhalla. That game deviated further from the core elements that made Assassin's Creed truly iconic, and instead focused on creating a massive dull open world that was set in ancient England, which had a lot of boring things to do inside of it. As a result, Valhalla made me feel like I was playing a political alliance simulator that was just go to this region, fix the mess there and then get them on your side and repeat. And at that point in the mainline games, that's when I realised I needed a game that felt like old Assassin's Creed. And that's where Assassin's Creed Mirage comes in. It feels like the golden era of 2007, capturing the essence of tightly designed cities where we can freely parkour buildings and run through crowded alleys full of NPCs to escape from guards that are just chasing us. It's a return to the core of Assassin's Creed, focusing on the art of just simply becoming an assassin and not no demigod or Viking. And after spending so much of my time in the boring world of Valhalla, just fixing this political mess and witnessing a story that was clearly being overshadowed by Sigurd, I've come to realise what actually resonates with me in this series, and that is stealth, parkour and just tightly spaced environments. Mirage offers exactly that, which is the complete opposite of what Valhalla was. Now this is where Ubisoft takes a complete 180-degree turn. While we're all going to be enjoying Mirage at its nostalgic peak, right behind it, lurking up, will be the new mainline game, which will be Codename Red. And well, Codename Red is set to be another big RPG. And then there's Codename Hex, which appears to be taking a different direction, but we don't know much about Hex just yet. All we really have is the 30-second trailer, but if I was to make a guess, I'd assume it would be set during the witch trials, but that topic is for a whole nother video. Oh, and the other 2 games, the first one being Assassin's Creed Jade, is going to be the series' first complete mobile game, which if you followed the leaks, it actually looks pretty promising. I'm definitely going to be playing that. Oh, and then there's Assassin's Creed Nexus, which aims to bring the series to virtual reality, as we get to play through the eyes of Ezio, Connor and, Cassandra, interestingly enough. It seems like there's quite a lot of store when it comes to the upcoming Assassin's Creed games. But, big but, the wide range of choices might actually pose as drawbacks rather than benefits. So let me focus on Codename Red. I'm unsure about the sheer size of Codename Red, but based on the pattern that was set by the previous 3 games, I would expect it to be quite massive. Now, Ubisoft Quebec developer Mark Alexis Coe said that Codename Red will be, and I quote, the future of open world RPG games for Assassin's Creed. So it's pretty much guaranteed that this game will be massive. Now that will definitely piss a lot of people off, especially considering the fact that when it's released, we'd have just played Mirage, which is a smaller, more older style Assassin's Creed game. Now let's be completely honest here. The main reason for Ubisoft releasing another massive RPG game after Mirage is primarily because of, well, money. This is simply due to the last 3 games being so incredibly successful in revenue for Ubisoft. In fact, Assassin's Creed Valhalla made over $1 billion since it was released. That's just crazy numbers for just one single game. And it's not even a good game, it's one of their worst ones. Well, that's just my opinion after all. Oh, and it's not just the actual game making the most money. The Ubisoft Montreal development team that was behind Valhalla benefited from this massively, as for them it was their second highest profitable game. This just clearly shows that the RPG fanbase is ridiculously large and a lot bigger than you may think. So clearly Ubisoft are not going to exactly deviate from this path, as after all it's where the most money comes from. So it's pretty clear what Ubisoft's motives are when it comes to Assassin's Creed Codename Red, and that is to generate the most amount of revenue possible. So while we sit here and excitedly wait for Assassin's Creed Mirage to come out, we must not forget that after Mirage it will be bleak for some people. Not for me though, because I honestly do not mind the RPG games like Origins and Odyssey. Valhalla though, well, if you want to hear my full thoughts on that game, check out this video that I made. Anyway, I have to say that Assassin's Creed Mirage is not the future of the series, it's just a temporary halt. Assassin's Creed Codename Red and Hex is the future. So, while Assassin's Creed Mirage does not indicate the end of Assassin's Creed RPGs, it does demonstrate that Ubisoft acknowledges the people's desire for the social stealth that initially made the series famous. However, considering there's people like me who have embraced the recent entries into the series, it would be challenging for Ubisoft to just completely justify a reversal in direction. Maybe Ubisoft can somehow fit a way of implementing both stealth and adventure into one singular game, which will find a perfect balance for the two. The last actual great Assassin's Creed game that's not Assassin's Creed Origins was all the way back in 2013 in my opinion, with Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Unity and Syndicate pushed the original formula to its limits, becoming somewhat repetitive and predictable. In response, Ubisoft recognized the need to revitalize the series to stay relevant into the gaming world. This led to the release of Origins, Odyssey and Valhalla, and now Ubisoft seem pretty confused as Mirage is going to be this smaller style of game, and then it gets even more confusing when it becomes Codename Red and Hex. So yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to say in this video. I hope this video did not come across as a complete rant and insult to the fans that love the original Assassin's Creed games. The point I just wanted to make in this video was just be aware of what's after Mirage. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video and want to see more Assassin's Creed content, just hit that subscribe button if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next one.